May I
Thank you,
just-
Madam Secretary. No, I think it's my question time, if I can.
I thought I had a
They'll
few
start
more
the
seconds.
clock. I just don't want to lose my clock.
Oh,
And if we could do short-term answers rather than long-term ones too, that'd be helpful, just because I got a lot I'd like to talk about. Let's
Some-
talk about
some
waste,
need
fraud, and abuse a
explanation.
little more, about Doge. So you fired 1,300 people. Another 600 people took Elon Musk's deferred resignation offer. Did you fire the people, or did Doge fire the people? I'm not completely clear on that.
Most, excuse me, most of that restructuring happened under the acting.
Short-term, did you fire or did Doge
Well,
fire?
I'm going to tell you who I fired.
I know, but that's why I'm trying to get short-term
So
questions.
the
It's
short
one or
term
the
is-
other,
well,
right?
You're using our time.
Yeah.
So most of that was done before I came on board. However, the
Doge-
decisions in the department I run the department. Doge does not run the
Okay,
department.
so you didn't answer the question. Did you fire them or did Doge? It's real simple.
A good majority of that happened before I came on board.
Okay, and by a good majority, 2/3, 3/4?
What's up, fellow patriots? Welcome back to Freedom Forge, where we cut through the media noise and get to the truth behind the headlines. You better believe today's topic is a spicy one. We're diving into the latest fireworks from Capitol Hill, where Secretary McMahon, yes, from the private sector, not a career bureaucrat, was grilled about the so-called mass layoffs at the Department of Education. And of course, Elon Musk's name is all over it. The left is losing their minds, and I'm here to set the record straight.
Well, yes, I'd say.
Okay, fair. Okay. And how many times did you meet with Elon Musk
I've
about
met
firing?
with Mr. Musk probably 3 to 4 times now,
Okay,
not including when I was on the transition committee and had several opportunities to speak with him.
sure. And then if I understand it right, on your Department of Education employee roster, you have right now at least is about 16 Doge employees. Is that correct right now, working with you?
I can get back to you to the exact number. I don't think it's that high, but we
Okay.
do have, they are employees. Those that we have are employees of the federal
And when
government.
you did their background checks to see how they're qualified about education, how many had undergraduate degrees and how many had graduate degrees in
I
education?
can get back to you on that.
Okay, so you don't know offhand.
No,
Did you ask that question?
no.
No, okay. Did you ask if any of them were teachers previously?
I did not interview those people that are part of the
Okay.
Doge group.
And did you ask if any of them worked in schools? Did you know if they were
Actually, I had a
asked?
conversation with one of them yesterday who did have a background in education, technology education, and had worked across several different aspects and was really schooling me a little bit on some of the AI things that we could bring in.
So one of them had a good background, good. Any of them work in universities that you know of prior?
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. So part of my concern is, I know yesterday there was this big splash, Elon Musk is stepping back. We call that horse hockey where I come from, right? We know it's not real. He's in the back closet. I understand you guys don't want his, front and center, but he's still in the room. And he's still making a lot of these decisions. And that's the real problem that I have is, you've got a bunch of folks that he brought in that you've admitted you didn't hire, you don't know their backgrounds, if they have anything in education, yet they're helping you fire half of your employees right now. And I'm really concerned about that. Do you know if any of them have requested or gained access to any sensitive data held by the department, including student loan borrower data?
Well, as government employees now, they have been vetted through the same process than any other government employee would. And so what access would be granted to other government employees, they
Okay,
have.
That's fine. And then, do you know the number of people that you've had to reinstate of those fired?
It's about 74.
About 74. So how did that happen? Because, I've been an employer for 37 years. The dumbest thing I could possibly do is fire someone just to rehire them, right? Because you've given them no job security. It's like beyond stupid, right? Not saying that because you didn't do it. Clearly, it sounds like this is from Elon Musk. But how did that happen, that people got fired and no one thought of you might need them in your department?
Some of that did happen when I returned.
Okay.
Now, I was in the private sector. I have done restructuring in firms, and it's painful to do that.
Yeah. But
And
fire people
wait,
to rehire them?
well, here's the thing.
Like, usually that's not a strategy.
When you are restructuring a company, you hope that you're just cutting fat. Sometimes you cut a little in the muscle, and you realize it as you're continuing with your programs, and you can bring people back to do that.
Yeah,
So
or
that's
you
what
can
we
plan
did.
ahead and not fire people to rehire them, right? That would be another strategy that I think is more often used. Would you agree?
Well, I'm saying that I have been on both sides of that coin, and I found them both to be effective.
Okay, interesting. We have a different perspective on that, but maybe the world of all-star wrestling is different than my world of business to business. You talked about, I agree with you about contracts enriching private contractors at public expense. Does Elon Musk have any contracts with the Department of Education?
First of all, I just
It's
need
a simple question,
well,
please.
not
This
that I
is
know
my
of.
time. I have 38 seconds, please,
Well,
Madam
I don't know
Secretary.
if he does or not.
You don't know if Elon Musk has any contracts in your department, and you've met with him multiple times?
Elon Musk doesn't have contracts in my department.
So Department of Education, there are no contracts with any Elon Musk company. That's what I'm asking.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. All right. You want to check a blue card real quick, or are you pretty sure of that?
I said not to my knowledge.
Okay.
If I find out differently, I'll be happy to get back to you.
All right. And just in the last few seconds I have, just real quick on private schools getting public dollars, just so you know, something like 3/4 of the students that wind up going into those schools already attend those schools, and they're getting tax money. So if we get rid of the Department of Education, should we put the private voucher program under Ways and Means, because it's really more of a tax benefit than an education benefit?
Well, I'm happy to get back to you on that as to how we restructure the Department of Education going forward and how those programs are handled.
Great. Appreciate it. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
You're welcome.
So, the big headline, 1,300 people fired, 600 more took a deferred resignation. Folks, that's almost 2,000 bureaucrats out the door. And let me tell you about time. The Department of Education is a bloated, inefficient relic of government overreach. It's been failing our kids for decades. More money, more people, but test scores keep dropping and parents have less say than ever. When McMahon confirmed those layoffs, I cheered. That's what draining the swamp looks like. And let's be clear, most of those layoffs happened before McMahon even took office. She walked into a mess the last administration couldn't fix. So, when the left tries to blame her personally, don't buy it. Now, you'll hear a lot about these so-called Doge employees, 16 of them, apparently, working in the department. The left is whining because McMahon didn't personally vet every single one or ask if they were teachers. Give me a break. This is the same government that rubber stamps thousands of hires every year. But suddenly, when it's folks brought in by Elon Musk or private sector leaders, it's a scandal. I say bring in the outsiders. Bring in the innovators. The old guard had their chance and failed. One of these new hires even schooled McMahon on AI and education technology. That's exactly the expertise we need if we want to compete with China and prepare American kids for the future. And then, the pearl clutching over Elon Musk. McMahon met with him 3 or 4 times. Good. I wish it were more. The government needs more doers and fewer talkers. The left wants you to believe Musk is some boogeyman lurking in the shadows, making decisions. But you know what I see? A successful businessman who's not afraid to shake things up. He's built rockets, electric cars, and satellite networks. If we want to fix this broken system, let's listen to the guy who actually delivers results. Now, the lefty on the panel went on about how dumb it is to fire people and rehire a few later. Let me tell you, that's called real-world management. Sometimes you cut deep, then realize you need a few good people back. It happens in every business. At least McMahon admitted it and brought them back. The alternative is to leave everyone in place, never take risks, and keep wasting taxpayer money. No thanks. We need bold action, not more of the same. They try to catch McMahon in a gotcha moment. Does Musk have any contracts with the Department of Education? She said, not to my knowledge. That's how you answer when you don't know for sure. She's not going to lie under oath like some folks in D.C. And let's be honest, these same politicians are silent when big tech and liberal donors get sweetheart deals. Suddenly they care because Elon Musk is involved? Spare me. The left is pretending to care about data privacy, only when it's the new hires under scrutiny. The fact is, all employees go through the same vetting. If the old system was so great, why are they worried now? The hypocrisy is staggering. And finally, they're scared to death of private school vouchers. Why? Because competition works. When families get to choose, public schools have to step up or lose out. That's how the free market works, and it's how we build a stronger America. If the Department of Education gets axed, sure, let's move voucher oversight to Ways and Means. Whatever it takes to give power back to parents and taxpayers, not bureaucrats. Here's my take, folks. This is all about power. The entrenched education establishment is terrified that real reformers, people like McMahon and, yes, Elon Musk, are coming for their cushy jobs and failed policies. The left will scream about mass layoffs and unqualified hires, but what they really fear is accountability. They fear innovation. They fear losing control over your kids and your tax dollars. I say, keep draining the swamp. Bring in more outsiders. Fire the dead weight. And let's give American students the education they deserve. Folks, if you agree, smash that like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense truth, and let me know in the comments. Do you think the Department of Education needs a shakeup? Are you glad to see outsiders like Musk stepping in? This is Freedom Forge. God bless you. God bless our schools. And God bless the United States of America.